Hey, Todd and Mal, pleasure to have you in today. So first, would you be able to introduce yourselves with your name and your Thai nickname?
Of course. Let me start first. My full name is actually Orawan Suwanchaya, and my nickname is, as you know, Miao.
And Ton Suprashat Han Hiran Tragun. Do you want to know the meaning as well?
Oh, yeah.
So Ton is actually mean the first or the beginning, or can be a tree. But yeah, as I'm the first child of my family, so it's like more like a beginning. Yeah, Surashat means someone who comes from a good family.
Oh, dope.
Yeah.
And for me, Orawan means like a girl with like good complexion, good skin. And my nickname is Miao. It's like after my mother, because my mother's name is Kat, so they named me after her.
Oh, that's adorable. Yeah, like one of my favorite things about Thailand is like how the culture has everyone having a nickname, and then just like it's interesting like having the meaning behind it. You know, I think it's always like a nice conversation piece like when you start off, really.
It is, and actually like my name is not only like for the meaning though. I was born on Monday, so in my name, like an appearance, you cannot have any vowel present.
Oh.
So it's gonna be like bad luck.
Oh, really?
Because I was born on Monday.
Yeah, I'll be quite superstitious as well in that part.
Oh, cool. And then, so like when it comes to the superstition, like this is just me just asking, I'm not sure like how much of it is like adopted from, because I know there's a lot of superstitions, I guess maybe came from like the Chinese superstitious culture or such like that, or like do you think it's very distinctly different in Thailand, or do you think you've adopted some of those things as well?
Personally, I'm not sure where it's coming from, but I think like I gather it from my experiences, from the movie, from what I've seen, from what people have told me. So more or less like from the environment around. So I'm not really sure like where it originated from.
For me, I think Thailand has a long history as well. That we have a lot of immigrants that come here.
Yeah.
Like we have Hindu, we have like Chinese, we have like there's like some belief in the Hindu beliefs and Chinese as well. We have a lot of Chinese here. I'm half Chinese as well. So I think it's come from many places, but yeah, we can't really tell like what is originally Thai.
I actually love everything you just said, reason being, because I think when, at least in America, we have like this notion of like it being like a melting pot and like this diverse society. And I think we tend to believe when it comes to a diverse society, it's purely just like people from like wide variety of maybe like different races and such like that. But I actually found that Thailand in itself is like very diverse, you know, in its own way. Like just, you know, Thai people come in various different features and such. And then like you said, like I didn't know there was so many people of Indian descent here, Hinduism and Buddhism. So no, that was really interesting as well. And then like, so I know a fun fact that I learned through you all at Remote Year was the fact that it was never colonized.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So like what's like, I guess the story of Thailand's history with that, like being, and like how do you think that influences like, you know, the Thai national culture and pride?
I think we take quite a lot of pride in that we never been colonized. Of course, I cannot compare to I never been a citizen of the other country that have been colonized before, so I cannot like really say how to compare like me being a Thai and being with like a different nationality that been colonized before. But I can say like we're quite proud to be like have the pride that we never been colonized.
Yeah, no, I got you. Yeah.
For me, I don't know a lot about like history or something like that. I don't wanna give like misinformation, but I think it's it's fortunate thing that we like able to not be colonized.
Hearing it from my perspective, like naturally, just like as an American, you know, Black ancestry and, you know, also like Caribbean ancestry as well. So that's a lot more in the ethos of my, I guess, origin. So for me, I just thought that was like such a fascinating fact. It's almost like something to aspire to or like just look up to in a lot of ways. So like when I go to the Philippines or talk to Filipinos, that's often something, since my parents are from Panama, is like we can often make joke about that, like that same influence. But then it was cool to come here to see people in what's considered a third world, quote unquote, but like, you know, they still always had that ethos of self-governance and sovereignty.
One thing though about, it is my opinion though, maybe if we get colonized, maybe we can have like a third, like second language, official language that might be an advantage in the present day.
Yeah.
Something like that, but just a language though. not the resources to be taken now.
And actually, so you just made me think of something too. So it's like, what other languages are beneficial to know within Thailand outside of Thai?
I think very trendy, probably Chinese, right? There are a lot of school that started teaching Chinese, and I think, of course, English is already like incorporated into our like studying. And then I think Japanese as well, and Korean. I don't know like how this come from, but maybe also from like your own like preference to the movies or you know like drama series as well. So it's like more an influence. But knowing all of these languages is just like gonna give you like more opportunity in jobs and other things.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, I mean, so for those listening, I actually met Ton and Miao during Remote Year. Remote Year, very simply, is a travel company catered towards digital nomads. I had the luxury of traveling with the group Curie. Shout out to Curie if you're listening. And for a year, we went to a new country every month. And then so our 6th month, we came to Chiang Mai, met this dynamic duo, these two amazing people. And then so just as you're recapping these things, it just made me really remember just the most basic things of just like how advantageous it was to have like a city welcome or arrive in a country and have these essentially 2 local hosts for an entire month. And so you could especially tell that you two like took great pride in what you do and like hosting people to Thailand, which is exactly why I was like, oh, you know, let's talk to these people here. So for those that may not know exactly what it meant to host or be a city team member, do you mind saying what your role was?
So I was the experience manager. So my role is to make sure that the remote, that are in town have a great experience. So I will be planning all the activity throughout the month and gonna make sure those activities is fun, but at the same time also culturally immersive to the Thai culture. Yeah, for me, like fun first. It need to be fun. Yeah, no one wants to go to a boring event, right? So yeah, it need to be fun, interesting, and then it's very immersive to Thai culture. So I plan things throughout the month and have some like unofficial event and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. So back in the days, I am his counterpart, right? So I'm an operations manager. I'm doing like the setup of the city, accommodation, workspace, airport transfer, or anything else along the way. Apart from that, I have to make sure like they have like a good life and like, you know, their well-being is taken care of. So that's my job back then. And then I also like help support Ton as well, like when he needed. And also of course, join a lot of like fun experiences that he set up.
Fun part, serious part.
Not so serious though.
And I think you're being humble because, you know, definitely had a lot of fun. Like I remember like one of the, you know, when we went to, for example, the drag show, that was really fun. But then what I loved about it is you made sure that it wasn't just about the fun. Like, you know, I love the fact that you had us arrive early and then we got to talk to all the performers and learn about their life and, you know, what it meant in Thailand, you know, and then, of course, then again, had fun doing the Muay Thai. But then I know you also like brought in, you know, the Buddhist monk for us as well, you know. Yeah, I like that. Same, but different kind of mentality, you know. I like, remember how you two talked about how like the beautiful contradictions sometimes, right? Where it's just like very peaceful. Yeah. So, well, actually to that point, like for those listening, like what would you describe as those two sides of Thailand from your perspective?
I can like trace back to the event that I organized though. Like, like for example, like, you know, Thailand as a peaceful country, but our national sport is Thai boxing. Yeah. So that's quite aggressive. Right. So that's quite contradictory.
So then now, next question then is, so of course you were awesome in your roles then, but I know, well, first, I know you're still with Remote Year. So are you pretty much doing the same thing or has your role changed at all?
So similar things, still like being like a city team right here. I'm supporting. However, I'm also like incorporate like his work as well. So I'm doing everything in the city right now, experiences and operation side. So it's like all in one right now. So anything that is like good in the past, we also bring it back, and then we add some like more fun thing like as well. So yeah, basically, I'm just like taking care of his job right now too.
Awesome. Cool. And so I know now you're a digital marketer, is that right?
Yeah, so after like during the pandemic, so I got a good chance, got job offer from the company. So it's a tech and digital marketing company. So right now I'm working as a digital marketing manager and customer support as well.
And your role is remote, right?
Yes, I'm a remote worker. I can say it now.
I know that relief because it was interesting for me in my role shepherding all these nomads to a new country every month. It's like, wait, I'm at a digital nomad company. I'm, shepherding nomads, but I actually don't have a remote role because I have to be, where my group is, and traveling with them. So of course it was great, but you're still tied to a location, even though it's changing. So I'm curious if that's kind of like how did it feel? I'm sure there was great things that you're showing people your city, but I guess like how does it feel, I guess, to be remote now after all this time?
I really liked it.
Yeah.
I really liked it. So it gave a lot of freedom. Yeah. This year, I spent the whole May in Phuket.
Oh, that's awesome.
Spending my time with my friends there and work from there. So I really love it. And I think remote is the future of work. So yeah.
So growing up in Chiang Mai, because I'm sure in order to become the Chiang Mai city team, you have to have not just be present in a location and like the knowledge, but be able to know it well enough to show it off to other people. Like when I think about your job, I'm like, man, even if I think about the city where I grew up in, like if our friends like, what do I do? I'm like, wow, I'm not sure how I'd keep them busy for an entire month. So I feel like that shows the depth of knowledge you would like to have. So for those listening, like how would you describe Chiang Mai to someone that's never been?
I would say, what is Chiang Mai? I think Chiang Mai is a good combination of like a city life and also like nature, in my opinion. I feel like this is enough of the city facilities, city conveniences, and you still have access to like natural sites, like natural places as well. So I think it's a nice balance, like for this, like for those who love like, you still need like entertainment, you still need like facilities, you still need like a lot of things, but it's still like within your reach, like 30 minutes away, drive to like go to like natural sites or something like that.
For me, I would say Chiang Mai is a beach town without the beach. It's surrounded by mountains. Yeah. As exactly what Miao said, we have the balance between like the city and nature. Only half an hour drive, you be in the jungle, be in the forest already. And we got everything we need here. Yeah. So it's very easy to live and very comfortable.
And then so is Chiang Mai being a beach town without a beach, is that like a popular saying, or is that did you coin that yourself?
No, I actually heard it from a remote, and it stick with me like, it's like a beach town, but there's no beach. It's just surrounded by mountain.
That's actually funny because I started saying it after I came here, but I forgot where I got that from. So I was like, oh, did I get that from Tony? Like, where did I, like, it's I don't know. It's just like, for sure. No, yeah, but like for me, I describe it like that. And one of the reasons I do is because in addition to what you said, it's like, I feel like it's like very laid back. Like, for example, I love experiencing things very different from me, like local cultures and such like that. But I'm still me at heart and my luxuries. And so I'm really big on brunch. And so I just love the abundance of like the hipster cafes readily available here in Nimin, this neighborhood and such. So that's what draws me to it. And so, for example, I know a lot of remote workers and nomads love it because there's this community here. I'm curious from like, with your experience, actually, I'm curious, like how many groups of people have you hosted coming through?
That's a lot.
I lost count.
Yeah,
actually.
I actually lost count as well.
Yeah, I think like for the first 2 years, I was counting and stuff, and then after third year, I was like, I can't remember how many groups anymore, but probably more than 20.
I don't remember, but probably.
Yeah,
it's a lot.
around
over 20 groups.
Around 20 groups. Yeah.
And like groups ranged anywhere from like 15 to like 40 people or something like that, you know what I'm saying?
In the past,
Like my first year, the group was between 30 to 60.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then it got a little smaller a couple years after. Yeah, so between like maybe like I would say between 30 to like 45. Yeah.
Okay, so quick maths, like let's just say hundreds, because like, I'm not sure, I can't ballpark the amount of remotes or nomads you've seen, but like to that point, so like what, based off of the feedback and just like knowing these people, like what do you think is like the main allure people have, foreigners especially, on like why they love Chiang Mai or what they enjoy about it?
I think maybe the taste of Thai, but in the northern part of Thailand. And it's like a nice and calm city. You have everything you need, but still like you don't have that pressure or that vibe of like a big city that you usually have, because people around are very friendly as well. It's also very like easy to get around. So it's like add a lot more time to your own life, like from just commuting. I think that's probably all of that together.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like exactly what Miao said, and I think it's the same thing as how the local enjoy living here, and that's like and when the foreigner or traveler come and experience it, it's just feel the same thing. It's easy to live, it's comfortable, and close to nature. Lot rich of culture as well, and the food here is good. Who wouldn't like that? So, I think that those are the reasons. Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of your both points about northern Thai food, how good the food. They come here, have khao soy. What's your number one khao soy spot?
Khao soy Mesai.
Mesai.
Yes.
Awesome. So then, what was it like growing up here? Like, so I guess what was it like Chiang Mai then and now? Like, how would you describe it? Maybe 15 to 20 years ago.
I think it's getting busier than when I was younger. Maybe because like travel, like, give people access, and more like social media and everything, like give people more knowledge that there's a spot here, and like it's available, you can come here. That's why it's more busy than when I was in the past. And then I think there are more like fusion food happening, because like a lot of people coming in, there are like cultures mixed in, and they started to create or bring in food from other countries.
For me, Chiang Mai 20 years ago was like a very chill.
Yeah.
Like it's still chill now, but like a lot more people now. So it gets busier over time, and lots of people have moved to live here. I mean, like just for Thai people, there's a lot already that moved to live here. So the city expand a lot. Yeah, of course, and there's also a foreigner expat who lives here as well. Those people bring all the business and stuff into city, which is like, I'm pretty sure like people here are grateful for. Yeah. At the same time, I think it could have been a much better development over the time. Like we are the second biggest city in the Thailand, but we don't have an actual public transportation. Like.
Right.
The tram or the underground or the sky train whatsoever. Yes, we do have like the red truck. Yes, but there's only one option, and they don't run at night. So, luckily now we have some Grab or like Uber and some other application that help us like get around. Like when we like drunk, we don't want to drive. We're drunk, like let's say at night time, something like that. So we have more option on that. But it actually it would be nice if you have more option than that, like tram or like bus. Or you used to have bus, it didn't very well.
Oh no, okay.
No.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I think it's funny because I always said if I lived in Thailand, so right now I'm based in Pattaya, but I had been living in Bangkok most of my time. But I was always like, I would definitely live in Chiang Mai. I think that because of the pandemic, you just couldn't move. I ended up just staying in Bangkok, but and I did fall in love with it. But yeah, I always felt like I appreciate the infrastructure of Bangkok because I think I like the personality of Chiang Mai. But then after I got so used to just like the BTS, and the MRT, I then was like, oh, okay,
The thing is that like if you actually like come to Chiang Mai and go to like all the big intersection during the rush hour, nightmare. It's like a Bangkok number 2.
Yeah.
Like the traffic is so bad. Like the way to come in the city in the evening, like rush hour in the evening, like on the way to go outside the city, yeah, it's like packed. So, and if you look at the map, like there's a lot more like a gated community, like built up all around. So the city expand. Yeah. But like the road is still that wide, so it cannot fit that much car. So yeah.
Well, I guess before we wrap up, like one thing, because I know I've actually been focusing a lot on just like the foreigner perspective or like the Westerners coming in, but like I noticed too that at least in this area in Nimmin, there's like a lot of like local Thai college students that study university here too. Like, why do you think that is? Like, is it just because the university is close by, or just like what makes it popular amongst the locals, or why do locals like Nimmin?
I think there are a lot of good food here, like restaurants that have good food, and they have their own like specific taste to the restaurant, so you cannot find it somewhere else. So if you want to try and you want to like re-experience this taste, you have to come here, and there are a lot of like cute and creative cafe in here as well. And it's also, as you said, very close to the university. They can easily come here, and right now Niman at night has more nightclubs or like a bar, which a lot of younger generations coming in.
Yeah,
I think it started with a club called Warm Up Cafe. Because of the Warm Up Cafe, which is like one of the most popular club here in Chiang Mai, moved from like the other side of town to be here. After that, like there's a lot of cafe open up, lots of restaurants, some other bars and stuff, and yeah, so the younger generation, like all the cool kids like hang out around here, so it's become more popular, and yeah, with more option, that's also attract the tourists and expat to be around here as well. So yeah, I think it's one of the reasons why Nimai is quite popular over the past 10, 15 years. So.
And then now looking outside of Thailand, you have the pleasure of growing up here, seeing the transformation, hosting however many people that came through, like, like the 20 plus groups. And so if you could have the opportunity to go to another city, and if there's someone listening that may be willing to host you in that city, like, where would you want to go, and kind of like what would be interesting, or what would you be looking to do while you're there?
I want to see more of Europe. So, and then I think one of the places I want to go is Spain. So it can be Madrid, it can be Barcelona, it can be Valencia. Yeah. Just want to see like something totally different. Yeah. Then Thai culture, Thai architecture and stuff. The food, I think I can still find some spicy food to eat there. Yeah. Because like when you say like, if someone could host me for a month, so like I want to be like there, like as a local. So like, at least like the city team there can help me like, guide me through the city, and like, as I don't speak Spanish as well, if the city team can help me like with a few crash course at first, that will be helpful and stuff like that. Yeah, the food, the city, the vibe, and I heard it's fun there, and the men too.
No doubt.
Okay. So Europe, right? Actually, anywhere in the world would be really interesting, but my number one fan will be Japan for sure, because I really like the culture and the food there. I haven't been there after COVID yet, and especially cherry blossom time, so I really want to go there and experience that moment. However, I'm also open to other countries as well, because anywhere that is like different, like I want to learn and see the differences and just change the taste.
Good choice. Fortunately, actually, after I left Chiang Mai, I went to Japan during cherry blossom season.
Are you serious?
Yeah. That's where my group went next, and it was also my birthday month, so I got cherry blossoms. I was in Japan for my birthday. It was amazing. And then so now closing out with the hosts, the fact is, so being in your position and such, what was the most rewarding thing about hosting people coming to Thailand?
For me, actually, all I want is that them to be happy and they experience the culture here, re-experience what I have been experiencing since I was a child. So, anything that we can recreate from the past, we will try to do so that they can feel the experiences from the local perspective. And when, like they are in the city and they're happy and they are like, being well fed, that's like the most rewarding thing for me. And I really hope that I can make them happy. Like it's truly from my thoughts.
Oh,
I think it's one of the things that make us a really good team is that we have the same goal.
right.
Like we just want to make sure that the remote that come to town, that they get a great experience from here. It's quite rewarding for me when they say like, oh, I enjoyed the restaurant so much. Thank you for the recommendation. Or, oh, I love this experience that you organized. Like, it's really like eye-opening, or it's really cultural immersive. So when I see that they having a good time here and like enjoy it, and some of them even come back to live or to visit a couple more times. So yeah, that's quite rewarding to see that they leave the city with like some knowledge about the city and
Good memories.
some like memories and stuff. Like that's the most rewarding thing.
Yeah, you two are definitely to blame for why Thailand can't get rid of me. So, thank you. but yeah. With that being said, like I'm sure I speak with anyone that had the honor of being your remote, but definitely like from my perspective as well. Like I said, you're the reason, or like the first step of me falling in love with Thailand. So I just wanted to say thank you for not only for your time today, but for your host and your service in general. So greatly appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Oh, thank you.